Okay, so I'm going to start a quick vinyl wrap with that vinyl that I got from 143 Vinyl from the package, the bundle, Mr. Crafty Pants. I'm going to do 3 patterns. This is the top of the cup. I'm going to do this one with the bees, and then the black and white, and then this multicolored honeycomb. I think that'll be cute. I have a little bit of black vinyl for the vinyl strips, and I have a 2-inch circle punch for the bottom. So these cups are just over 8 inches tall. I'm going to leave a slight gap at the top. So I'm going to do one piece at 3 inches. I'm going to do the center piece at 2. And the bottom piece I'm going to cut about 4 inches to have room to go over the bottom. So I'm going to grab my paper trimmer, which probably needs a new blade, but it is what it is. So this is the center piece, which is going to be cut at 2 inches. And I have to get an around measurement. It's like 9 point something. I don't remember exactly what. And the top piece is 3 inches. And the bottom piece, I'm going to cut it about 4-ish. And I am going to do strips in between the 2 sections. So I'm going to cut those pretty tiny. So that's my cut line. That's a 1/4 inch, but I don't want 1/4 inch strips. So I'm actually going to line it up on the edge of the cutting bar itself to get an even thinner strip. And I'm going to need 2 of those. It is extremely hot and extremely humid in here tonight. My paper flowers that have been on the wall since I moved into this space a year ago, 2 of the sets of leaves have let go of the wall by whatever adhesive I have on them. So I do have a fan running. If it's a little loud in the background, I apologize. I'm just going to cut a 2-inch circle. Should be fine for the bottom of this cup. And I'm just going to do that in the black also. So I'm going to move these things out of the way for a moment. Oh, I still have to cut. I have to cut them down shorter because I don't need all that overlap. You would think I would have exact measurements for these in my head, but it never works that way. Yep, so just about 9 1/4 if it wanted to cooperate. So, and there's no taper to these, so they're even all the way. So I'm going to cut all of these down. I'm going to go slightly longer than 9 1/4, so I have a little bit of an overlap. Gosh, it's super dark in here. See, I already messed that up. Yep. Cut that one slightly under, not slightly over. This is what I wanted. So, let me cut that one again. Alright. Take 2. Three inches, not 2 inches. I definitely still have vacation brain. And they match. Okay. Now I'm done cutting. That's my top. So I'm just going to set it slightly down off the top of the rim. I don't know if you can see that. There's almost like a line. I'm gonna see if I feel like I am somewhat straight here. I feel like that's pretty good actually. So I'm gonna grab this squeegee, and it's just got a piece of felt wrapped on it. Kind of picking it up off of my cup cradle. This is a kind of plasticky vinyl, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So I'm actually going to come back to the other side and lift that. Because I did have a couple little bubbles to start. I'm just looking for bubbles right now. All right, next strip. I'm going to start on the same side. And I'm just going to run right along that other one. It's okay if I have a tiny bit of gap because I am covering it with that black strip also. Beautiful. See, my seam is perfectly lined up. That's what I'm going for. And my third one. Let me try and get it to start about the same place. And same thing, just peel the backing and turn. It's almost better to not overthink your lines, to just do it. I find when I start overthinking it is when I end up with more bubbles and bad spots. I think that I haven't ordered from them since they switched to the vinyl they were printing onto, because this is like really pliable and flexible compared to some of the others I've worked with. Which should work to my advantage at the bottom here. I think the sunflower one might be the same, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm gonna pull my cup cradle out of the way a minute. Now for my bottom, I'm going to cut some slits around and I'm just going to start with that bottom one and pull it in tight and tuck it. You may get some tiny edges that are folded. If you're a super mega perfectionist, tape off and glitter or paint your bottoms. Don't try to do this because it will probably make you insane. I don't mind the little creases at the bottom, but some people, they really annoy. So do what works for you. You can do every other one. Sometimes that lays better. You can cut them smaller. You can stretch it tighter. But, so that's that. And my little black circle is going to go in the middle. You can make a bigger black circle, a smaller black circle, whatever. I didn't feel like firing up the Cricut to do this part, so the hole punch it was. Or circle punch, rather. And I usually start in the center and work my way out to smooth that down. So, there's that. I'm going to come back around to my seam. And these I didn't trim down to size, so I will snip them when I get to the end. This is the part I always struggle with, is getting the little strips started. Alright, so same thing, just lay it on your overlap line and pull it. Use whatever color you want, use washi tape, use vinyl, whatever works for you. And I'm going to try and keep that seam pretty close to even with the other seam. Find my other little tiny strip. And run the second one. If you're going to spray paint your bottom, you can run a seam along that as well, and you can always do one around the top rim if you want. This one I'm just going to do the two. I do have a couple little bubbles in the vinyl, but I am not going to address them right now. I'm going to let this sit overnight, and if I still have bubbles in the morning or whenever I get around to my resin, I will address them prior to that. So that is it for this step. It is fully wrapped. It's just that simple, and it's gonna be adorable. I will probably, because there's no glitter in any of this paper, add a cheat glitter to this one. So I'll be back for the next step. Okay, I am ready to get a coat of resin on this. If I can find the right turner. Hey. This is just getting a clear coat to start. Nothing fancy. I'm going to give it a pretty good coat to try and level off some of that bottom. And I'm probably just going to do my traditional Be Kind decal. I'm probably going to give it an offset for this one though. I'll probably do black over white, because I don't know if I have a good match for any of these yellows, but I haven't gotten that far yet, so I don't have to worry about it just yet. I put this paper under here to protect with glitter for the next two cups I'm working on, and yeah, I just drizzled epoxy all over it, so oops. Alright, so I'm just going to let this coat spin and dry, and I will be back for the decal round. Okay, I'm ready to get the decal on this quick. I'm just going to find my back seam and put that to the bottom. And I just went with a super simple gold and black Be Kind. I thought it would look cute through the middle here. So I'm just going to line her up and get her tacked down. And I do have some bubbles. Mostly I have bubbles because I layered it before I laid it down. You get less bubbles when you layer it as you go. But you know what? Nobody's perfect. And I hate poking holes in metallic, but that's okay. This is going to get a little bit of a cheat. I think it's going to get the diamond dust, so I'm going to do 2 tumblers back to back with the diamond dust. So I'm going to pull my turner around, which is already on. So I get it on here, let it go. I'm going to grab another glove, and I'm actually going to layer one with a vinyl glove. And I'm going to, I already have a little cup of resin ready. Get a little stick here. And the diamond dust is super light, so it likes to fly everywhere. So be careful with it if you use it. Don't use it in a room with a fan running or anything. I can already see it sparkling off my nose just from that little tiny bit. So that is Girl's Best Friend Diamond Dust from IPP. I do believe they were out of that particular one. I believe one of you said the other day. I'm not sure if it's in this week's restock or not. I don't typically keep track of those things, so I couldn't say. But I'm just gonna get a coat on there. I'm using KS Resin Liquid Stone for this coat. It may or may not get, it probably will get another top coat, but that's just going to be a regular clear coat. You don't really need to see that. What you're seeing here is going to be the look of the cup. This cup will be available. I will put that down in the description. And I'm going to bring you down for a close-up in just a second. I say it will get another coat just because it only has, this is only its second coat, and I like to do at least 3. 3 to me is like the sweet spot. So that's where this one is at. Alright, I'm going to take that vinyl glove off. Hope I'm not too sticky when I touch my phone. I'm going to try and keep my hand out of the camera this time. And I'm just going to let you see it. Those bubbles are going to show. It's just because of how quick I did my vinyl to this. So if I decide I really hate it, I can always cut a second one and go back over it. But super cute. Love these patterns. Love the cup.